and we're coming to you every day and talking about all the great things that are happening in Chatham-Kent. We are hosted by Your TV, so thank you very much. I've got Eric Shaw in the background here that's sort of doing all the coordinating, so thank you very much, Eric. I have an exciting discussion today. I've got Andrew Teal and a bunch of other fantastic folks on the line with me today. And we're talking about Nurse 11, and I'm going to give you a little teaser. So I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Am I sharing the right screen? Can everyone see a bunch of hand sanitizers in the background?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay, so that's this is the United Way training room that has been turned into a PPE room, a personal protective equipment room. There's gloves there. We have masks that have been that came into us from Transform. We have handmade masks from all kinds of fantastic sewers in the community. And those hand sanitizers, the little guys right there, there's about 1,400 of them that went out to the community on the May 16 miracle. But I'm going to stop right there. Andrew, can you explain what is Nurse 11? I know when I first heard, actually it was Nurse 9 was the first time I heard something, and I was like, what is that? Is that a door-to-door nursing thing, or and then it was renamed Nurse 11. So if you can speak to that, and then maybe if you want to invite or welcome the guests that we have on the line and how they were involved as well, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So we started off this initiative as Nurse Number 9. What that was, there was 9 companies that were involved in getting together a batch of hand sanitizer for first responders and anybody that couldn't get it in the community at that particular time. Everything was sold out, so we decided to say, hey, we need some corporate sponsors on this, and to really do a true community effort to not just help the community, but to do it at no cost as well, because a lot of the ingredients were very expensive and whatnot. So I'll just introduce you to a couple of people here that were a key part of it. Angelo Ligori, who's a consultant for Greenfield Ethanol, is on the call, as well as Penny Wilton, Ted Dalios, and Brian Weaver. Those 3 folks were all sponsors, who were 3 out of the 11 companies that all got together to bring this to the community.
Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And so what happened? Where was this hand sanitizer made? Who are the producers?
Well, it was actually all the ingredients that started off. We started off with a donation of 210 liters from Greenfield Ethanol, which eventually turned into 1,210 liters. And that was all blended with all the ingredients and whatnot with Mike Benerick. He's on the line as well right now. Hopefully his sound is working. He's from Bootlegger Distillery, and he had done that all up at the distillery in Bothwell. Mike, are you there? No, it looks like the sound isn't on.
Oh, that's too bad. I just heard that advertised over the radio that Bootlegger has now has been for some time making hand sanitizer. So that's fantastic. Keep going, Andrew.
Yeah. So we started off, I think it was March 15th. So it was after the initial closures were all announced, and everybody was kind of going in the shock, going like, wow, this is real. There was all the sports leagues that were getting shut down, and airlines were getting shut down, and everyone's kind of like, wow, like this is actually happening. And so all of us got together and we said, hey, we want to get something started here. We want to produce some hand sanitizer to help all the first responders. So the first call was to Angelo Ligori from Greenfield Ethanol, who was a friend of mine who started making those arrangements. But maybe we can let Angelo expand a little bit on that.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Andrew, first of all, I'm checking to go back on that date because I started coughing with my COVID on March 17th. I'm checking all the texts that we exchanged. You recall all that?
Yep.
And when we finally got the alcohol through our sales folks, I was literally in bed doing, please give me some alcohol. So I'll just leave you with that. So I don't work for the company anymore. Literally, I don't make the stuff. I'm doing consulting work. And I think it was my cough that really pushed my president over to say, all right, Angela, we'll do it for Chatham, okay? And then you guys took over. The rest is history. But that was like mid-March, and I recall those conversations. And further to that, I think most of you know that our company has come forward. We're looking now. We've got Health Canada to approve more ethanol that's coming from another plant. So we've done, since those calls that you started here, Andrew, we've come a long way. So I think we did our share, but you know, everybody else that did all their work, ours was just a small component.
Well, it was pretty big. We couldn't have made the hand sanitizer without the alcohol, Angelo. So we appreciate you making those phone calls, especially when you actually had COVID-19 and you weren't on your deathbed, but you certainly didn't sound like yourself in spin class on Saturdays. That's for sure.
Shall I tell one tale of you got me a connection of your dentist to give me the last batch of erythromycin, or shall I?
We better leave that for another day. Yeah.
So Penny, how was your, what company are you from and how was your company involved?
My son Elliot and I are real estate agents in Chatham-Kent, work for Royal LePage, and I'm in a business networking group with Andrew, and he happened to call me, and actually my son was here at my house with me when he made the call, and about it was something we'd like to be involved in, and we absolutely jumped on board right away, thought it was a fantastic idea. Elliot's wife is a nurse, so that tells you a little bit of our support there.
So when you say jump in, what does that look like?
Oh, in terms of a donation, right away we were looking to gather up funds to move forward with it, and Andrew was running with the idea, and we absolutely didn't hesitate for a second to be involved.
That's awesome. And Brian, what about you?
I operate First Choice Disaster Restoration, DKI, and Andrew reached out to us with this fabulous idea, wondering if we could help out with some transportation. So we had a fleet of vehicles that were somewhat idle at the time with shutdown, and we helped get the product out to Bootlegger so that they could manufacture the sanitizer and then help distribute as well.
Well, that's fantastic. Ted, you're up next. What company are you from and how was your company involved in Nurse 11?
Yes, thank you. I own the Chatham and Wallaceburg Denture Specialists and the Canadian Hearing Institute in Chatham and Wallaceburg in the Snoring and Apnea Clinic. We have a satellite office at the Family Health Team in Tilbury as well. So we have places all over this community, and I was born and raised in Chatham-Kent, and I feel it's extremely important to watch out and help your community as well as your neighbor. When Andrew put the call out for support, and on my end, it was more of a financial donation, but the call to action at the time the call to action came out could not have come at a better time. And there was really no bigger initiative that we could or anybody could do to help out the community, the first responders and healthcare practitioners in this community. So it was really an honor to even be a part of this. There could have been no better cause, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to be a part.
Well, it was definitely needed, that's for sure. And I know too, I already shared my screen when you saw the little bottles of spray that we put into the bottles that you provided. That went to all of the volunteers that were working in the May 16 Miracle, which took place last weekend not last weekend, actually a weekend and a half ago. Everyone is still buzzing around it. In fact, I don't know if anyone chimed into 99.1 this morning for the announcement on the radio. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did everyone hear that? So Andrew, do you remember the number of cans that were raised?
I think it was 648,000 pounds.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Unbelievable.
I think it was funny because I heard it on Blackburn, and I think they made it equivalent to like it's weighs like the same as like 8 blue whales or like 50 some elephants. Like trying to put that as a visual, like yeah, it's pretty mind boggling. They did a great job. Both Teddy and Penny and Brian were there as well, sorting on the Saturday for that at the Tebs campus too.
The actual number is 600, and this was a quiz, by the way.
Okay.
678,220 pounds. And
Wow.
it's funny because we've got Jackie, my colleague, in the background, and she's a little bit of a data geek. So she was doing the same sort of thing, but she did it with people, and she figured that it was about almost close to 5,000 people.
Wow.
So quite incredible. So
Isn't this a wonderful community?
it is. It's amazing, you know, and 3,000 volunteers out there, and all of you folks helping to keep the community safe. This was something that was completely needed. I know when I had gone into grocery stores, you couldn't even find hand sanitizer. So imagine, 3,000 volunteers trying to figure out how to keep them safe. So thank you to each and every one of you. I wish all 11 were on the phone.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to close off with, Andrew? We've been working really closely with you and some of the groups that you've been working with, and over at United Way, we really appreciate all of the support. And just as you said, Ted, fantastic community. I think when we look at Chatham-Kent, I think that we've really put ourselves on the map when it comes to response and standing up, even in light of having to stay, apart. So in closing, Andrew, you want to, tag anything onto that?
Yeah, I want to just make the one comment that it was like, it was a true community effort, and that, a lot of people look at that and they're going, oh, wow, that must have taken a lot of work. But you know what? There wasn't one phone call or text or email that I sent that anybody said no. Everybody was just like, okay, how can we help? Yes. I know this person. I know that person. I was looking for some peroxide. I talked to my neighbor, Kelly Bear, and she was like, yep, I know this guy, Tim, from Platinum Produce. So right away we had peroxide that showed up, and every little component that was there was really easy to put together. Even the containers that we needed at the last minute that we got sent down from Barrie and from Ottawa were both from Chatham-Kent natives that actually went into Cabela's at that time when everything was like Ottawa was a hot spot, and I mean everybody was really in shock at that particular moment. They went in there, physically bought them and got them down to us so we would have them in time to drop it off for public health. So yeah, it was absolutely fantastic experience, and it couldn't have happened with one single person, with everybody that was getting involved. So hats off to everybody.
A lot of feel good and challenging times, right?
Yeah.
Community helping community, right? Like that's, it's just, and I've seen this several times in Chatham-Kent, how, people just, they come forward. So hats off to all of you. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Thanks a lot, Angelo. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. You too, Ted and Brian and Penny. Too bad that we couldn't hear from Michael. It looks like we lost him on the call. So thanks to all of you for joining. Join us, Chatham-Kent, for our 3 p.m. discussions that we can bring news just like this right to the forefront and celebrate what a great community that we live in. So thanks for joining us